A semester in the works all comes down to this. It's Division 1 Finals of the Collegiate Cephalopod Association's third league season. My name is K-Bot. I am joined by Nox, bringing you the action where we've got two teams that we just saw win their semifinals. It's the University of California, Davis Banana Split versus the University of Central Florida Night Sharks. And Night Sharks. Man, I was so close to get everything
You were
right.
so
Night
close.
Sharks. So close. But Nox, this is going to be a fun one.
It absolutely will. Night Sharks just lost the first two games they've dropped all season. So they are definitely going to be feeling more pressure than they were probably expecting to coming into this. They have bled for the first time. And now we're going to see if Banana Split can keep that going.
First map is Splat Zones on Mansa Maria this time. And we'll see what these teams have as they come through here. Both these teams have been subbing around and rotating some members around a little bit. So I imagine we'll see a variety of weapons as this comes through. And there we see the compositions on our screens. It'll be Night Sharks starting in the orange and the Banana Split in the purple.
Yeah, we are seeing another anchorless comp here coming out of Night Sharks. Not a surprise. We've seen this from them a few times. But that nice E-leader coming out here. Manta Maria, definitely a good E-leader map. Really good sight lines. Really a lot of space work with incredible suction bomb there.
Well done, suction bomb, shutting down that crab and preventing it from having value cross map. It'll be the Banana Split that actually takes the early advantage here in this one, already moving through their opponent's street. And now we see another Zuka come out, trying to find a little bit more value. This is Johnny, who was able to pull out multiple doubles with that Ink Zuka in their semifinal set just a few hours ago. We'll see if it can find any value here versus the Night Sharks.
Yeah, and they have managed to take out the machine. Their wiper has gone down, but that is another two-down situation for the Night Sharks, not where they want to be. And the E-leader's been able to hold these incredibly strong positions and taking advantage of the fact that they can paint up that pull in order to get some more ink in their tank. They are doing such an incredible job at holding space, allowing jumps in, and making sure to shut down things. The wiper going in, taking those really aggressive fights, managing to shut down that 52 gal for a while. As the trip strikes come out, so does the crab, but they are still holding on to their zones. They're already down to 14 points, and this is likely going to be a KO here.
Noel trades over there, causing a little bit of a distraction far away from the zone, but we'll see if the Night Sharks are able to come in. The Hail Mary Booyah Bomb comes through here, and the cap looks like it was able to be applied, even if for just a brief moment for that penalty to be on there. So it will be the Night Sharks holding on, even if just for a moment, to cap that zone and extend the game timer, despite going 3 down for doing so.
Yeah, it's worth it in this situation. Obviously, if you go 3 down and get that penalty in this situation when there are 3 points left on the clock, it's always going to be worth it. But they do have 100 and a penalty point, which is always a funny score to see, in my mind. Tri-Slasher almost has that Inkjet. This is an incredible Inkjet map, a map we saw a ton of Inkjet in too because of all of these ledges you can play around, and especially with that increased jump off of the B button. It's incredible. A great job there. Great usage of it, taking out that Booyah Bomb. Just incredible gameplay here all around coming out of the coming out of Banana Split, sorry. As we are seeing them take full advantage, there's very few points left on this clock, and that is going to be game 1 and an easy KO to Banana Split.
That is the third game that the Night Sharks have lost all season. And it happens in game 1 of finals of this season for Division 1. I don't know quite what's happening right now for the Night Sharks, but they do not quite look as poised, and we could potentially be in upset territory. But of course, lots of games left in this best of 9 Nox, and it's all going to be about who's got that mental game as we continue forward. You have to imagine that with Banana Split's strong victory there, they're able to build up a little bit more confidence, be like, you know what, now maybe we've got this. But of course, again, it's going to be about can they maintain that over the course of the next few games.
Definitely. And it will be hard to maintain. Night Sharks obviously want this really badly. There are actual prizes on the line here. Both teams want to win this. There is stuff on the line. And there are a lot of subs happening. Sorry, my eye keeps going to it and going, that's a lot of people changing. But Tower Control Hammerhead, definitely a map that can justify those kind of changes. A map that definitely has certain things that it favors And I will say that the machine players will have a grand time here.
The machine players will have a grand time here. If we see an E-Leader come out, it'll have a grand time here. The vanilla splashes have a grand time here because the crab tanks can fire in a vertical, setting across the entire map, basically, right? There are so many different things that benefit from this narrow setting of Hammerhead Bridge. We'll see what kinds of compositions do actually come out of both these teams, because you're right, this can call for some pretty drastic changes. But notably, we are heading over to tower control, which at least gets us moving around the map a little more than maybe we would in splat zones.
Yes.
But even still, things will be happening at a slower pace, and it'll be easier to set up some of these weapons that really benefit from having these long sight lines where you don't have to worry about as many of these flank angles.
Definitely. I will say that I will be interested in seeing if Johnny goes on that carbon again here. We see Johnny in the lobby right now. Definitely a player. Definitely carbon is a weapon that can do well here. And if they want to take advantage of that Trizuka to negate any crabs that Night Sharks might use, it could be a good option.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening here for these two teams. Looks like we've lost a shark right now, so waiting on them to come on back in. But nonetheless, I mean, for the record here, right? Banana Split has only lost, entering tonight, only lost 3 games all season, then dropped 4 to PSU Blue. So now they've lost, what is that, math? Can I do
7.
the math right now? 7, that would be 7. Man, what does it say that the commentator, the finals of the CCA broadcast can't do 3 plus 4 in his head?
Sometimes
anyway,
3 plus 4 is pretty challenging stuff.
It's been a long day. It's been
It
a
has
long
been.
day. It's not even been the longest day for me. There are some of you all that have been here joining in on numerous matches throughout the day, happening across all of the different divisions, and the production crew that was getting set up, joining us for the pre-show, the teams practicing ahead of these matches. So I shouldn't be complaining. But anyway, we'll see what we've got here. Score is set at 1 game in favor of the Banana Split. Again, folks, the Night Sharks have dropped 3 games, and we have seen those 3 games all happen in the last 4 games that they've played. Those first 2 happening in the last semifinal, and now Banana Split is looking like they've got something that might be able to pick up the pace here and change the tides of what's going on in the CCA for Division 1.
Definitely. And we are seeing E-Leaders coming out from both sides here. No huge surprises there. The only major difference between these comps is the 52 gal versus that vanilla splatter shot. We know Johnny loves that vanilla splatter shot. Been able to get great picks with that Trizuka all night long. But that 52 gal is so good on this map. Those walls able to control so much space, but not if the Trizuka shoots him down.
That Trizuka also is going to have quite a fun time here, you have to imagine, right? We're talking about a lot of these things that have long-range sight lines and enjoy those, but we're seeing how all of these dynamics play out. Did you see the E-Leader come to full effect here as well? And now Banana Split is already looking to try to take past this first checkpoint. Booyah Bomb up in the air, looking to build a little bit more momentum. Wavebreaker goes down as well, and Johnny's in that Zuka. Might be able to only find 1 for the trouble, and now the Crab Tank is out. Probably going to get traded both directions, but a nice snipe onto the opposing E-Leader. Nothing much is going to come from it, though, as 2 members of the Banana Split go down after touching that second check.
Nice back from the machine there, as we are now seeing the Night Sharks reclaiming this mid area a bit slower than we've seen them do in the past. So typically they move up a bit faster than they just did, as we are seeing the Banana Splits really trying to keep up this paint pressure, being able to, thanks in large part to that E-Leader applying pressure through so much of the map, and that Trizuka managing to find an incredible trade there on Fawful.
Well done there, and now we're starting to see the Night Sharks continuing to squirm. It's another delayed 2-down situation for the Night Sharks as this Crab continues to try to prevent the Banana Split from coming in, and was moderately successful in doing so. Now as Emmett's able to rotate down and get the surprise onto Abby there, and it's a 2-down situation for the Banana Split. It's the Night Sharks' turn to try to keep up the pace here and go for something a little more aggressive. Getting another one here is Emmett, looking to try to keep up this momentum for the Night Sharks. But here comes the resources out of the Banana Split. The Zuka, the Wavebreaker, trying to prevent things from the Night Sharks from moving through, but it looks like it might not have been enough, Knox.
Yeah, especially with that crowd coming out, they're going to be looking to try and clear this checkpoint. They have all of their members up. They have their machine in a really strong position. That's exactly where you want them. And that is another 2-down situation onto the Banana Split. Onto Banana Split, as they are looking to really keep this moving forward. They are 2 down now, though, but it is the machine and E-Leader, both weapons that can stabilize things pretty well. E-Leader does choose to back up. Machine does stay up there, though, as we see them trying to push people out, but not quite finding the room to.
Now, looking to try to keep this push going. You see Waffle there over on that right side. Does get taken down in the process. We're just going to see the Night Sharks back away into mid. And you know what? Fair enough. They were able to get past that second checkpoint. They've got a little bit of that to work with here if they find themselves forcing on the defensive side. But the other alternative is to just continue coming up with these trades and chewing time off the clock. But now it looks like things might have turned to the favor of the Banana Split.
Yeah, and I will point out there that both of those picks were Johnny Inkjet picks, followed up by another. That was Johnny getting an incredible triple there, as they are now being able to move forward, really being able to clean up space. And we are seeing Johnny almost at another one of those Trizookas. Johnny's so incredible with them. Able to get another huge pick there on that 52 gal. They're through that checkpoint, looking to get a little bit further. Not quite able to find another pick with it, but it's just the splash up, trying to make something happen. Able to get that lead. Absolutely huge.
Very well done here for Banana Split, squeaking away with the lead there, but not touching that third checkpoint. That means that there isn't a full checkpoint that is going to separate these teams, as now the Night Sharks are looking to try to take this tower back to the other side of the map. The E-Leaders stare at each other, but this time it's the Banana Split's E-Leader that comes away victorious once more. But it's a 2-down situation for the Night Sharks, and Banana Split are still going to have control of the middle of the map.
Yeah, really incredible awareness here out of Banana Split to keep this space control and take full advantage of that pick that E-Leader got. The hard thing about playing with a Charger is that you do have to take full advantage of their picks and making sure that you capitalize on them, because otherwise it's just, oh, a player went down, and there's nothing you do with it. You have to make sure that you move up and take any space you can get.
Things these teams have been doing a pretty good job of, but again, have to try to continue to keep up that pace, especially when the nerves are high, as your entire semester and your entire season has led up to this precise point. The Night Sharks are looking to try to find an entry. Waffle throws that blue bomb down to the other side of the map, but Johnny comes up with the Zuka, is going to be looking for something to push the members off of the tower, and now the rest of the cleanup crew comes through for the Banana Split. 20 seconds left to play, and right now it's all pink in the middle of the map.
It is, but they need to be careful to not overextend here. It's easy to overextend. It's easy to overassume, especially when there's so little time left. Great job there using that crab to stay alive a bit longer. Trizooka coming out, not quite able to find a pick, able to cause a lot of chaos, allowing that splash to get on tower, and the second game goes to Banana Split.
4 games down. I'm sorry I have to keep saying this, but it feels like we're watching something that is different from what we should be expecting heading into this one. The Night Sharks have been on a tear through a lot of the collegiate scene, and right now they are getting challenged and they are getting contested. Tonight, it's from this team from the University of California, Davis. The Banana Split are 2 games ahead in this best of 9. Knox, how are they doing it?
I think they're moving up with their specials incredibly well. They're playing off of each other really well. And obviously, they're all in a really good mental state after taking that first game so decisively. That always puts you in a good mood. It makes you feel like this can be done. And they're not getting overconfident with it, which makes such a big difference. Whereas right now where the Night Sharks is at, they probably are not, well, they're just not. They're not used to handling loss. And once you start losing, it can be so easy to accidentally get on your teammates about small things and get in your own heads. And so they need to figure out how to pull themselves out of that, whereas Banana Split are just on this high where they can keep running with it.
The mentality and the presence of mind is one of the most important and not often enough talked about facets of competitive Splatoon, or anything, really. That goes for competitive Splatoon. That goes for your group projects when you're trying to work on things on a team. That's a homework assignment. That's a bunch of 4 random classmates that you've got to work with for some reason. That goes for nearly any team activity in life. If things don't go to your expectation, don't get tilted right away. We'll see if the Night Sharks can try to bounce back here, recollect themselves. They're only 2 games down, and I say only because this is a best of 9, folks. There is still plenty of Splatoon left to play for the Night Sharks to come on back into this one. And they've got to find ways to pick each other back up and get back in there.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And it's very much doable. They are an incredible team, as we've seen throughout this entire season. They know how to play off of each other really well. They know how to move up with their specials. They're just a little out of sorts right now, and they can absolutely pull themselves back together, figure out how to regroup, and figure out how to play around what Banana Split is doing and adapt. They are so used to playing around subs and all of that. This is absolutely something they are fully capable of pulling off.
We'll see here, as I believe we're waiting on the teams to lock in their rosters. Given by the fact that we've got so many subs around, we've got to make sure that the teams are confident in the rosters they're looking at right now. So we'll wait a moment on that. But next up here, Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard. Again, we're going back to Rainmaker, looking for something that can be a little bit more aggressive and something that anytime you can get an explosive play in, the better.
Absolutely. It's very much a map where explosive plays are rewarded. Definitely a lot of different approaches here than people would typically take in S2. In S2, we really loved that top left path. It's less reliable now in Splatoon 3. There are situations where you want to take it, but generally we see people going for that bottom right checkpoint way more often. It seems to be a way more constructive route generally. It seems to be more productive and more consistent for teams.
See what happens here is now the teams are locking in their weapons. And I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's near impossible to predict things when you're in this situation, right? The favorite, the team that you were expecting coming into this one to come away with things is now down 0-2. And what makes matters more interesting is that anything can happen because this is a marathon, not a sprint. We'll see what happens here, and some adaptations come out here as Fluffle is on to that custom junior, opting for that wave breaker, perhaps trying to shut down Abe on those Tetras.
Yeah, Wavebreaker is definitely a nuisance for Tetris to have to deal with. They can't rely on their dodge rolls as much once that's out, but they're able to already find a pick on that 52 gal. That's huge value. That is 2 down already on the side of Night Sharks. The Tetra has gone down. That is 2 down on each side. Just the support and the anchor up on each side, as the Fawful is looking for space to work with, looking for a good opportunity to throw those torps in to stall things out, to help their teammates get back into mid, as we see Ave just really doing a great job of creating distractions for their teammates.
Wavebreaker now once again going down, trying to slow down the base of the game, trying to provide an ounce of stability for the Night Sharks here. But the Sea Juniors forced to back away temporarily as the Tetra comes barreling forward from the other side. Gets picked off by another member, and now potentially an opportunity for the Night Sharks to pull something out. But no, there's Johnny's Zuka. We've seen it time and time again come up with one surprise here or there. And now he's able to find another one. The Banana Split still looking to keep this thing neutral.
Yeah, Johnny does such an incredible job of taking advantage of those picks and moving up with their teammate, like we saw with that Tetra there. Does go down to that machine, though. Night Sharks really looking for stuff to work with here. Booyah Bomb coming out. Another player goes down. Just the E-Leader right now, not really having a good line of sight, does also go down. Just that splatter shot, not a ton to work with as they're just respawning. Nobody has specials right now, and they are going to try and move up with this as quickly as they can. But the bombs are coming out, managing to take out that Rainmaker, getting them to 38, which is by no means an unbeatable push. Johnny using that Trizuka, not able to find anything with it. Well, able to find one with it, but not able to find more, as we are seeing them just kind of able to control this space and play the game more at their pace, which the Night Sharks deeply seem to prefer.
Look at the sustain coming in from the Night Sharks here. Despite 2 of them going down, they're able to still maintain this presence around the Rainmaker. It's still a threat for them to come in, and it holds on to the Booyah Bomb, throwing that after the pop comes through. Now gets dove on by multiple members, but Fawful comes in to pick it up to take this Rainmaker down to 31. And folks, you might not think that's that big of a difference, but being able to get that even slightly further past that checkpoint gives you that much more breathing room when you're playing on the defensive side late.
Absolutely, and we are seeing Abe trying to find a way to break into mid here. These torpedoes causing quite a bit of a nuisance, though. Using that wave breaker to really try and clean stuff up. Trying to take out that junior, noticing that the junior's been causing him a lot of trouble by enabling all the members of Night Sharks so well. Not able to find anything, though. Does draw a lot of attention to that right side, though, which could have allowed Banana Split to get in through left, but they didn't quite manage to pull it off. E-Leader managing to get an incredible pick there.
Now, got about 2 minutes left in this game. The Banana Split are the ones that have got to come from behind this time around. The Night Sharks have control of the Rainmaker in mid again, and they continue to keep up their pressure versus the Banana Split in this game. It's another 2 down for the squad from the University of California, Davis. And we're seeing what more the Night Sharks can try to do here. You see Army take this Rainmaker up to the left side. Not going to get much for it. Does get the trade here versus Abby. But again, chewing up precious seconds on this clock.
Yeah, and that's an awkward situation for Banana Split to have it in. They really want to be able to move it more freely, and by having it in that upper area, they kind of need to let it reset, because if you just drop down with it, it's not going to be safe. And as I say that, 3 more go down. Johnny's going to get collapsed on. That is a delayed wipe onto Banana Split, as we see Night Sharks just absolutely feeling super confident and comfortable on Sturgeon Rainmaker.
This is the Night Sharks game right here. They're starting to walk away with this one, feeling a little bit more confident in themselves. We'll see what more comes forward here. They picked up the Rainmaker once more, and again, continuing to just stall this one out. I don't expect to see them push this very far, and of course, now with that crab tank, it's going to be very difficult for them to do so. Able to pick that one off there, and now the Banana Split might be looking to try to move forward. It's a 2-down situation, and perhaps this is the opening that they needed. Johnny with the Zuka fires, gets one. It'll be a 3-down situation for the Night Sharks, and Banana Split are rushing towards this checkpoint. We're starting to see the repositioning come through, but there's the E-Leader on the back sides. That's Army able to come up with 2. Ave starts to dive forward, but is going to get swarmed by the rest of the members of the Night Sharks. And Banana Split did not find the checkpoint that time around. With 26 seconds, all that the Night Sharks have got to do is stall this one out.
And it seems like the Night Sharks might have figured out how to play as a group again. They're playing off of each other way better. They seem like they're feeling more comfortable. It seems like having that C Junior is enabling them a lot better than they were dealing with before. You see the Tetra trying to make something happen there, the E-Leader trying to, and we're just not seeing them getting the value they want, and that is a DC there on the Tetra, which is too bad to see, but this game was likely already going this way. And that is game to Night Shark in a 2-1 situation.
Night Sharks have finally found their footing once more. Maybe it was the maps, maybe they wanted something a little more comfortable. Whatever the case is, they've started to find something that clicks. And again, it's a matter of getting some of that confidence back. It's a mental game here in these marathon best-of-9 sets. And they might be starting to build a little bit back towards that. To your point, Knox, especially with their ability to work well with one another. When you can start having those Tetras go in and then have someone else follow up behind it, all of a sudden you're going to be setting yourselves up for success at that much more.
Yeah, absolutely. On the other hand, Rainmaker is such a different mode than all the others in the game. It is so much more at your own pace, along with Clam Blitz. Zones and Tower, you're playing at the pace of the objective. With Clam Blitz and Rainmaker, you are playing at your pace. Obviously, with Clam Blitz, you have to wait for clams to spawn. But generally, as long as you're keeping up with paint and specials, you're able to keep a pretty consistent hold on them, as long as you're making sure that that's a priority.
So we'll see what happens here as these teams start to prepare themselves for clams. This rotations start to come around here for this game. We'll see what ends up happening here. Hopefully the disconnection doesn't become too much more of an issue, he says. Knock on wood. Shudders.
This time for sure. This time for sure it won't be a problem. For sure this Splatoon stream it won't be a problem.
For sure. Anyway,
but I'm very interested in seeing what weapons people are going to bring out for this Clam Blitz Museum game.
Yeah. This should be a good one here, especially considering, all right, are you thinking of the E-Leader? Are you thinking of these, the Jet Squelcher even, right? Going back on over to that, something that's a little more mobile, still has a lot of that range, and also that Storm that's able to have that much more of a little bit more of a presence, right? And an extended presence compared to that Wavebreaker, even if it's slightly more diluted, right? We'll see what these teams decide to come through with, as now they're starting to make those decisions in terms of what they actually want to run. We'll see what the case is. Here we go. We are into game. They've made their choices and locked them in. It's Clam's Museum here, where the Banana Split is ahead 2-1 as best of 9. Heading now on to game 4. Waffle sticking with that custom junior. We see the E-Leader remaining as well.
Yeah, it seems like they might be wanting to have that custom junior out just in general, but it definitely could have something to do with Ave on that Tetra. It's such an annoying weapon for a Tetra to have to deal with. It really limits their mobility, and we are seeing everyone just making sure to get that paint up. Tetra does go down, but they were stalling out that right side super well. Now the splash has gone down, but that's an awkward situation for Banana Split to be in, as we are seeing Night Sharks moving it together as a unit very well and looking for those picks when they can find them.
Again, about keeping up that pace as well, sniffing out where your opponent's dropping in from and watching that flank angle. Well done by Emmett, picking off that one. And now this grab tank is looking towards the right side of the map, clearing that area out and trying to enable an opportunity for the Night Sharks to build up those plans and get those towards that barrier. Minute in and still scoreless for the most part. One of the wave breakers going down out of the Night Sharks. They'll be looking to try to come on back, but again, the dueling wave breakers. Everyone's playing jump rope right now, and here we go. But no, shut down by the E-Leader player of the Banana Split. Only one power clam is going to find the mark for the time being. And that one didn't quite go the way that the Night Sharks drew it up, although maybe Emmett's able to squeak this in, and does, right underneath the noses of some of the members of the Banana Split.
Yeah, it's always hard to defend those power clams that land right under basket. It's something that you really need to make sure you're focusing on and using those sub-weapons on. And now we are seeing this crab being able to set up here, allowing the Night Sharks teammates to start trying to get more clams, not able to fully hold that, though they don't have enough support to do it. The junior is almost at a power clam. They have that wave breaker ready. E-Leader's starting to move up here with this pity, taking advantage of the fact that they have a 2 down, really starting to run forward, jumping over that wave breaker, looking for that jump in, probably going to throw down wave breaker after they manage to get set up. And here we go. They're going to try and get this power clam in relatively soon. It's going to not be a huge push though.
Might not be a huge one here, as now that E-Leader player is going down, Johnny's in position, will be taken down as well. And only one power clam goes in for the Banana Split this time around. They still have mid. We'll see what else they can try to come up with here. Is now nice burst bombs able to take care of Abe this time around. Grab tank, though, still in position, still trying to prevent the Night Sharks from making their way back into mid. If you can keep the mid control, you'll probably end up keeping the clam control here as well. And now halfway through this game, it's going to be what the Banana Split wants as they try to build back up here. But now some specials start to come online. We see Emmett in the grab tank, able to take care of one. Abe's Reef Slider drops and hits the floor halfway through this game, and now we're able to see another one coming from Emmett's crab tank, what has been played beautifully in many cases here. We'll see what else can happen as we start to see more clams come through. The fight on that far side is going to result in Emmett going down, and now it's a 3-down situation. Let's do a real quick check-in on the Banana Split as they scramble towards the opponent's basket.
Pascal behind spinner dead.
Wait, I can one more, Abby.
Oh, here. Oh, I'm dead.
No, Johnny!
Alright.
Nice, dude. Nice. Boy. Because I got QR and rolled. Never mind, I'm dead.
Make sure we block left, like ASAP. They're already here.
Able to find the lead there is the Banana Split. They now are in control of the game, and it's the Night Sharks who are trying to take back, but they've got 2 power claims, Nox, and will be looking for something here.
Absolutely. I will point out how lucky those clam spawns were for Night Sharks. So many of those clams in mid to just allow them to quickly move up, repaint, re-get what they need. As the Splash is trying to find something over here, not quite going to be able to. Tetra goes down, just that E-Leader. E-Leader's not going to be able to look at everybody at once. Not something the weapon's really capable of. Going to be a lead switch here, as that is a push to 26. And no more clams on the board quite yet, but there's plenty more in mid. Fawful running back to get some, trying to take out this 52 gal right now. Nobody's quite able to. E-Leader not able to hit that shot. Junior has that power clam ready. Weren't able to get it in before the barrier closed. But they still have the flag.
We'll have this here. Banana Split looking to try to clear things out. There's still another power clam in the area, and it looks like another member is able to come up. That's Billy with the 52 gal. Now comes up with a second, enables the power clam to go in for the Night Sharks. They might be looking to try to extend their lead even more here. Power clam jump coming in, a few extra, and the Night Sharks are going to equalize the series at 2 games apiece.
Yeah, we are now in an even situation. Night Shark seems to have found their groove. Banana Split thrown a little bit off of theirs. It also could be coming down a lot to the game modes here, though. We're seeing Banana Split do really well on the game modes where you have to play the objectives pace. and Night Shark's doing incredibly well on the game modes where you have to play at the pace, at your pace. There isn't a pace set by the objective.
That is a solid point here, and probably something else to keep track of. A point that we alluded to earlier in the broadcast, but again, the pacing with which you play is going to be all dependent on some of these other features, right? Talk about tower control in terms of that tower, its limiting ability in terms of how fast it's moving versus clams where you can have a lot more of a degree of control. How fast are you throwing in clams? How fast are you approaching the enemy's basket? All of these things you start to have a little more control over, but we're heading to splat zones where the timer ticks down. That said, also the objective only sits in one place in the middle of the map, which means it's easier to get set up, easier to lock out your opponents, and especially on a map like Flounder Heights, that could be something where these teams try to utilize that to their utmost ability.
Yeah, absolutely. Wahoo is always an interesting map to be going into, always a very fun map. Definitely a map where both of these E-leaders can hit a lot of... Oh, never mind. It is Flounder. I misread.
What?
Less good for E-leaders.
Like, wait.
I'm doing great. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
The machines will have a great time here. Machines love Flounder.
Is there a map... Question for you. Is there a map where a machine doesn't have a great time?
Sometimes Wahoo.
Well...
Not a map we see very often, though.
But it is a map that we will see if we get to a Game 9 here.
Exactly. Just was getting a little confused there for a second.
You read the script backwards? That's like...
Yeah.
You
My bad. I thought
you skipped a page there.
Skipping ahead. We're definitely getting to that Game 9. But Flounder, always a fun map mode. Would love to see a Tri-Slosher come out here. Not expecting to. But we could be seeing Noelle back on that Splatana Wiper. Definitely a weapon that can do incredibly well here. And Johnny could be back on that Carbon here.
Ooh. Talk about Carbon Roller on Flounder Heights zones, right? I don't know how many folks here were watching the Ink TV League match on Thursday with Volti coming up. I think Volti came up with over 20 KA on that one.
Yeah. Volti, I mean, this is a Carbon map.
Yeah, it very much is. The Carbon's ability to run around, peek over the ledge, slap someone with your pool noodle, and then go right back to doing something else. It is the name of the game there. And we'll see what ends up happening here. Of course, 2-2, and this one could potentially be a momentum changer, right? As it starts to shift back to the favor of the Night Sharks, who've won the last two, and the Banana Split might be back on their heels. We'll see what happens. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. These teams still have to mentally prepare themselves for the next few games to come.
Yeah, and it definitely will be an interesting next few games. Flounder Zones is always a map that can cause a lot of change from what we've been seeing in the trends we see. Less so with these teams, but just in general, it is a map mode where things can definitely be very different. And we are seeing that Tri-Slosher coming out. Love to see that vanilla Tri-Slosher. Love to see that Toxic Mist coming out from both teams pulling out a Tri-Slosher of some form. Machine coming out on the side of Banana Split, of course, can't go wrong with it. But we're also seeing Noelle there on that Wiper, which will be able to fill a similar role to the Carbon on this map mode, where you're just able to pick a lot of those interesting fights.
So Johnny sticking with that splatter shot here as well. Must just be feeling more confident with that today compared to that Carbon Roller. And we're already starting to see the work that this Wiper can do as Noelle pilots that, now pulls out the Ultra Stamp, able to find another one, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-down situation for the Night Sharks. Only this Tri-Slosher is alive, will be forced to drop one away, and the Banana Split have gotten their control of the zones first.
Noelle doing an incredible job opening up opportunities and engagements for their teammates. Now using that Inkjet to getting 2 picks. Are we gonna find the Junior here? Probably not, but looks like we're gonna be able to pressure them back into an uncomfortable situation. Noelle able to capitalize on that. Abby doing an incredible job here with this Toxic Mist, using that Inkjet, able to use all the resources at their disposal, enabling Johnny to get that incredible Trizuka pick. And that is another 2-down situation, and we are seeing just how much this map can snowball. This is a map where we see big pushes, and that's a very early use of Tri-Strikes there by that T-Tech.
Very early use of Tri-Strikes there with no one around to fully capitalize on it. But now the Night Sharks are tacticalered up and are looking back towards the zone. The Ink Storm comes out here and they're trying to contest the near zone. Looks like the Banana Split will give it away. And now Abby's going to get taken down on that side. Just 2 more members standing on the other zone, but here's Noel is going to try to dive forward and will be taken down in the process. The Night Sharks have found the re-engagement here, but now they've got to fight against Johnny Zuka. It will not connect this time around, and the Night Sharks have another tactical up online to try to maintain themselves, but what's this? Abby comes up with 2 there right around that cooler, and the Banana Split have flipped the zones right back.
Incredible job there by Abby, seeing that opportunity for the flank. And even though they were tactical, they were able to take out enough of them and disrupt them enough that they were not able to get those great jumps back into the zone. So while they respawned quickly, they did not have that excellent positioning that they wanted. And so now we're seeing Banana Split being able to reset up, be able to reestablish themselves. Trizuka coming out here from Johnny. Machine getting close to that Booyah Bomb as we are seeing everybody looking and vying for any space they can get on both sides.
Actually, we're getting very close to knockout territory here for the Banana Split. You see some of the members of the Night Sharks trying to run in, trying to get something done here. And you see the jumps coming through as well. Specials coming out of them, forcing some of the members of Banana Split back, and it's a 2-down situation. But will the Night Sharks be able to capitalize here? Looks like Emmett's finally in position to contest the near zone, and they're looking for the far zone. They'll be able to find it there. The Tri-Slosher comes up with 1. It's a 2-down situation for the Banana Split, and maybe the Sharks will be able to set up a lockout of their own.
It seems like they definitely might, especially with that Tacticaler and Rain coming out. That'll allow them to take so much space if they want to. Machine doing a great job. Try Nouveau here, actually. Being able to do a great job here, using those Busy Bombs to find the Machine. Going down to that to that Z-Shot, though. Ooh. And Johnny, of course, doing what Johnny does best, and just taking up so much map control.
I would really be curious to know how many Zukas Johnny has had tonight, because it has been an approximate boatload. I told you, probably a Zuka main more than a Carvin main or a V-Shot main. But nonetheless, coming through here, the Banana Split have been able to cap both the zones once more, and it's a 2-down situation for the Night Sharks here. You see Waffle start to try to find a cheeky little engagement here, and now paired up with a teammate here on the Tri-Slosher, looking to try to keep things on the near side, and now starting to roll through these fights like we've seen the Night Sharks do. When they start working together, they start becoming more successful, and that was a fantastic re-engagement to try to take back control of this. They've got 60 seconds left to play. This could be their final hold of the game.
It absolutely could be, and we are seeing that Tacticaler coming out, allowing them to play even more aggressively, allowing them to get jumps back in, but that Sea-Jet's not in a great position for them to jump into, even if they go down. We are seeing 3 specials at the ready here. Hammer coming out, causing some disruption. Inkjet coming out, looking to find picks, able to find the try, able to find another. This Inkjet's absolutely massive for them. They were in a rough position. This gives them a way better chance to get back into this zone and recap. They need to find the space, though. They don't have that machine anymore, and they are not in a great position to recap. They've lost all their specials without having capped the zones.
And now we're starting to see the Night Sharks be able to maybe take the lead back here. Abby looking for something here, but now has to try to get this one off Awful. But no, that doesn't happen this time around. But Johnny comes up with another one. That's the Zuka on the engagement. Will the Night Sharks be able to keep this zone? It's only one person alive. It's Awful here, trying to dive right on top here. Able to find one, but the Banana Splits are going to find control with just 7 seconds left to play. The Night Sharks are trying to dive right on back in, but it's not enough this time around. It's the Banana Split that'll remain ahead in the series.
Banana Split doing an incredible job there, grouping off of each other, playing off of each other, and making sure to enable themselves to take as much space as they need, and respecting the Night Shark specials enough to not get overly punished by them, and also keeping their composure enough to get back into that zone without panicking. That is such an easy situation to panic in, to overextend in, and they managed to keep it together.
Managed to keep it together here. Will they be able to keep it together for the rest of the series? Who knows, right? That's the name of it. And I know we keep going back to it every time we go back to the map screen, but that's the reality of the situation. Consider that these teams each have played one match already tonight. We're probably, especially the Banana Split here, especially we're exhausted after playing 90 or all 9 games, right? Going the distance in that series. And now the Night Sharks starting to lose a couple games, starting to maybe be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Who knows? So much now is on the line here for these last few games as these teams continue to attempt to keep their composure. Again, especially, in a slightly more inexperienced environment for these competitive teams. keeping that team culture, keeping the vibe up, keeping everything good is going to be critical.
Yeah, and it's something that can be so challenging to do. But at this point, I think both of these teams are probably just feeling adrenaline. It's so close right now. They are so at each other's throats. It could go either way. Both teams want this so much. And they are going to be going into Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy, a map mode that, if you get past that first checkpoint, can get very steamrolly.
As we know, all too well.
Yes.
All too well. But of course, I will say, I feel like it's less steamrolly in 3 for whatever reason. Maybe it's because we know how to play the map better or something. I don't really know.
It could be. I think it's just that missiles were really good here along with armor, would be my guess, because there's not a ton of space to move around.
Right. So I did get word in from our producer. It's been at least 30 Trizukas for Johnny today in
Oh my
semis,
goodness.
which means it's been at least 40 so far. And of course, Johnny, I might be wrong. I don't think Johnny's played every game.
Johnny
Maybe
has
he's played
played
every
in
game?
the vast majority. I think there was maybe one Johnny didn't play.
Yeah, something of that sort. But subbed out in game 2 of semis, so maybe only one game.
Yeah.
But regardless, we'll see what it can come up with. Again, the lottery ticket special. We'll see if the lottery ticket comes up with winning the CCA and winning the prize for the league of a handful of MSI monitors to the winning team for divisions 1, 2, and 3. Shoutouts to MSI for providing those to the league. Of course, you can find more information about MSI in the CCA Discord server and the MSI student Discord server as well. So shout outs there. The folks at MSI do a fantastic job at supporting collegiate events, and we are lucky to have them be involved in our Splatoon events here. So great to see that come through. And it's especially important because we're getting closer and closer to this finals match ending. It's now on to game 6, and we see a different weapon come out here from one of our players here, Nox.
Yeah, we are seeing Hakon there on the Splatana Stamper. Always an incredible weapon to see. Does really well with that Zipcaster, that Burst Bomb. Really going to be able to put a lot of pressure onto Abby's Crab if they choose to use it. Love seeing those E-leaders staying here. Really good map for them. Of course, that C Junior coming back out here for the Night Sharks. Been going really well for them. And Noelle just causing chaos.
Cool. Noelle able to get right to it there. Now runs out of ink, tries to use the Ultra Stamp, but it is going to get taken down in the process. But there it is. The Charger trade goes to the favor here of the Banana Split. We'll see what else happens here as these players are starting to move back in. The Night Sharks are trying to set up their defenses. Noelle, though, trying to surprise, able to get this one here, and is able to find that one onto the left side of the map, preventing that Stamper from getting set up. And now the Zuka comes out, but it's not able to find much value this time, as that tower will be stalled at the second check.
Yeah, and we are still stuck at this second check. By no means in a terrible situation, though. They still have those specials ready. Crab is going to be forced to just use itself to escape, though, as we are seeing Night Sharks fighting to get back into mid here, but Banana Split is able to keep so many jumps coming in and able to just keep consistently trading out that Stamper, which is all, like, shutting down that Stamper is absolutely huge. It really limits their options in terms of getting in. Johnny doing a great job here of staying alive, having that Trizuka ready, and of course, Noelle doing an incredible job of just using that Viper so incredibly.
Banana Split are the ones that are taking the pace of the game and setting the tempo themselves right now. But now they're slowly starting to get punished along the way. We start to see a few more of the Night Sharks sneak on forward here. Now we've got one flanker. It's Johnny, able to get traded back out the other way. But the Night Sharks are now 3 down. Make that the delayed wipeout as the Banana Split are hopping back on this tower and are looking to approach this second checkpoint once again.
Yeah, Noelle doing an incredible job holding that top left area for a bit. Not able to fully capitalize on it. E-Leader probably is going to be forced back off or get dropped soon, as they are left on that top left area alone. Really can't go up through that push without having more people with you. Fawful does go down there. Incredible pick there by Abby. Incredible awareness. Great use of Burst Bomb, as we are seeing them really focusing on clearing out the space. Johnny helping out in that fight. Abby getting on this tower. Johnny probably going to try and move up to that left side once they're done with Trizuka.
Banana Banana Split still maintaining this push, continuing to stay alive. And now Abby in the grab tank here, able to try to apply some pressure over to Army on that E-leader. But now Emmett comes up from the side on that machine, which is what we haven't seen Emmett play much of so far tonight, but still able to put in a little bit of work. Now paired up with that Stamper is looking to try to get a little bit more done. We see that Stamper able to find one, and now 2 down for the Banana Split. That tower's still riding forward. They cleared past that second checkpoint, and it's already down to the 26-point mark. Johnny gets taken out there, but the Banana Split have a pretty sizable lead to work with.
And along with that, they never lost mid control. Noelle doing a great job there of picking off that Stamper as they tried to break into mid. Noelle's been doing so well at just playing that space control, playing those quick trade games that allow them to keep up so much pressure, along with helping out with assists when they need to. Noelle has been everywhere on this map, and it is incredible to watch.
Comes out of Johnny once again, looking to open this window up for the Banana Split once more, but it doesn't work this time around. It's a 2-down situation for them, make it a 3-down situation for them as a trade happens there, and the Night Sharks are going to start to build up mid-control. They found Noelle here as well, who's been pesky on this side. Now double team. Now it's the Splatana sword duel here. Looks like that's going to end up in a trade as Emmett and Hoken start to move forward here. We'll see what they can do, but the tower's going to reset back to mid, and that E-leader is in position to shut any potential opportunity down here now.
Yeah, that Zipcaster is ready on the side of that Splatana Stamper, but they go down to Noelle again. Once again, Noelle is just really being the star of this map mode. Just doing everything they need to enable their teammates, along with getting incredible picks on their own, and now getting rid of that wave breaker. That seems to be a bit of a nuisance to them.
40 seconds here left to go, and the Night Sharks still have to try to regroup here, still have to find a way to break past this first checkpoint. It looks like Hoken there, able to team up with Fawful, taking care of Abby, but now there's Johnny on the far right side, starting to get close to that Zuka. I have to imagine it's going to come in soon here, trying to set up the cross-map shot. Army's still in position, but actually Johnny flanking in from behind, gets the Zipcast recall this time around, and no one was looking! The Zuka comes out and clears off of the tower. That's the wipeout for the Banana Split with 8 seconds left to play, and they're going to walk away with this game, moving themselves on to match point.
Incredible gameplay there. Everyone on Banana Split was playing so well off of each other, but I once again just want to highlight how well Noelle was opening up that map for Johnny to be able to do those flanks, to be able to get those tri-strikes, the E-leader to be able to keep up that constant pressure, and the Splash to keep providing that paint support. They would not have had nearly as much paint on the map without their Splash player.
I mean, the composition there worked incredibly well for the Banana Split, some of whom just changed around their weapons a little, right? With Noelle coming back in, we got to see Emmett go over to the machine, right? Something we haven't quite seen much of so far. Abby has normally been playing things like the Tenatech so far, switched over to the Vanilla Splash that time around. So much is working well for the Banana Split right now. The Night Sharks have to find an answer, and they've got to find it fast, because now they are at risk of losing this season, and the Banana Split could walk away as the victors.
Yeah, and we are getting back into a mode where we did see Night Sharks do a little bit better on this Rainmaker mode, where they get to fully set the pace. We saw them do so incredibly well on Sturgeon Rainmaker. They just dominated that game. The Banana Split never really had a good opportunity to move in, so it'll be interesting to see how they choose to adapt to this situation.
Rainmaker this time around. Perhaps a mode where we'll see the Night Sharks be able to come up with something, but we'll see when the time comes. Again, the players probably talking it over. Making the decision of who to put in is got to be a nerve-wracking one, right? When things are this close, when you know that that possible decision could make the difference in the game in terms of what weapons you end up playing and what kinds of fights you find yourself in. So many factors to consider when you're setting up the game here, setting up what you want to play and what you want your style to be on this map. So we'll see what that looks like. Looks like here, Emmett staying in for the Night Sharks. We are already just getting right back into this one here. It's now potentially time for the Banana Split to take the lead one game separates them from taking the season in Division 1. We'll see what ends up happening here on Rainmaker Hagglefish Market.
And we are seeing Night Sharks going with a pretty aggressive comp here of that. Oh. Or we're not. You know. That happens. I'm sure there was a reason for that. There was a player on the wrong team. That does tend to make an awkward situation. It does help if you're playing with the team you're used to. Yeah.
That does help. It was like, oh, double machine. Wonder where that came from.
I was like, I just am so used to double machine that I was like, yeah, that's a thing people do. Weird comp for it, but I'll go with it. I don't know why you're doing C Junior with double machine, but sure, there's paint. I'll accept it.
And now we get a communication error out of the lobby, so who knows what's going on at this point.
You know,
we shall see.
It's Splatoon 3. We're just building up some extra suspense for this match point game.
Right. Yeah. That's
very.
That's definitely what we're doing. You see, it's right there on the script, actually.
Yeah, it's right in our script. Don't worry about it.
Just building up the suspense. You see now on your screen. The rest of the potential games we could be playing heading into now this game 7 on Rainmaker Hagglefish. Next up, Lamb's Scorch. And then game 9 decided on Zones Wahoo. We'll see what ends up happening here. Of course, is now, I mean, you want to talk about mentally getting a reset or mentally getting a breather. Communication errors will cause that. And these sorts of delays might cause that. It might also play and have an impact on these players' mental.
It definitely could. It could go either way for both teams in this situation. Because sometimes after a good win like that, you do get overexcited. You can get too up. There's also the side of that of where you could easily get iced, though. You never want to get iced. It can easily happen in Splatoon. Things go wrong. And you have to learn how to play through that and how to get around it, which even some top teams struggle with.
We'll see what happens here. As we're now starting to get, hopefully, the players back into the lobby in just a moment. We'll see what happens. Hold on to your hats, folks.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting game. Would be incredible. Would be an incredible upset, really, if Banana Split manages to pull this off. This is the first time. So there was last set and this is the only time Night Sharks have dropped any games throughout this entire season, which is, I mean, incredible gameplay from them throughout the season, but incredible for these two, for the previous team and for Banana Split to manage to get these games.
Yeah, would be quite the story, right? And certainly something that the Night Sharks would probably wants to try to come back with, you know, in future seasons, right? Thinking about maybe not being able to pull it out. Look, last season, they came away with 2nd place in Division 1. Maybe it's this season, they also come away with 2nd place. Back-to-back seasons, not able to put it all together, especially after coming off of an entrance exam victory earlier this semester. It's rough for them, right? Think about how much that'll fire them up, right? Trying to come back for events over the summer and then the league starting back up again next fall. They're not going to have the opportunity to try to do this completely again. So we'll see what ends up happening here, of course, for what happens. For those of you curious, the 3rd place match between the Division 1 teams was also just played off stream, where the PSU Blue Squad from Penn State University won 3rd place over UCSD in 8 games. That set was 5-3 in favor of the Nittany Lions. So hats off to both those teams. I mean, for both those teams for getting to playoffs in the first place. And then, of course, for PSU to stick with it and take that bronze.
Yeah, really incredible gameplay. PSU and Banana Split went to a game 9 in their set. So PSU has had a long night of playing.
Yeah. We'll tell you all what, folks. We are going to take a... Oh, wait, no. Maybe we're not going to take a break. I was about to say we're going to take a break, but we might not. And we might just get right into this in a moment. So we'll see what ends up happening here as these players are getting settled in. There we go. The CCA stinger is on the screen, which means we are heading back to the game in just a moment. And now you can see we've got 10 people in the lobby, which means it is time to finish this series one way or another within the next 3 games.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how it goes. We'll make sure everybody's on the right teams this time, and we will get into this and see how exactly this turns out.
Yeah, should be a good one as we carry forward here. Again, Rainmaker, Hagglefish. We'll see what ends up happening as these teams are getting locked in. Just a few more moments to go, and we'll be right back into things, hopefully with no issues. Cross your fingers, everyone, because no one wants to be here for even longer than we have been so far.
I mean, we want to be here long enough to see a game 9.
Yeah, well, perhaps true. But not for any like random delays from technical issues.
Yes.
That would be unfortunate.
I mean, it's not a Splatoon stream without some technical issue, is it?
Regrettably, you're probably about correct.
I don't know the last time I commentated a tournament that didn't have an issue, or played in a tournament and didn't have an issue.
You've had
Splatoon.
a very bad luck just lately in general with the
Hey,
stream.
K-Bot, why do you assume that's new?
I mean, maybe it's not new, but it's particularly true for
not.
the past few weeks. Anyway, folks, here we go. Game 7, Rainmaker, Hagglefish, Market. Buff sticking with that C Junior here, and we see Noel on that Wiper, even still looking to try to cause some more chaos there for these members of the Banana Split. They look to try to take this one.
Yeah, I will point out that the Night Sharks are running all Object Shredder here, so I'm surprised they didn't go for Pop more than they did. Definitely a great thing to go for when you have that Object Shredder on. Noel picking that fight on that right side. Don't know quite how that's going for him right now. But we are seeing Wicket with this machine able to apply a ton of pressure in mid, and they do manage to take out Noel, but there is still enough pressure in mid right now that they are holding in there, not having to give up too much space, and they have that Booyah Bomb at the ready.
Now we see that Rainmaker get picked up by the Night Sharks here. They're already going to be able to take care of that first checkpoint, and it's going to be a 2-9 situation for the Banana Split. The Night Sharks have popped the Rainmaker shield, are looking to try to make the jump, and they do get it down to that 31-point mark. The Wavebreaker comes through to try to stabilize this for the Banana Split, and it will be successful in doing just that. But now Billy's on the side here, able to come up with a pick of the Rainmaker, slows down the momentum for the Banana Split, and the Night Sharks still have an opportunity to choke out control of mid.
Yeah, but we are seeing these trip strikes coming out, but they do go down in the process of using them, and Noel manages to survive for a little bit longer, and we are seeing the Banana Split starting to move forward here, taking advantage of that Booyah Bomb. Does go down to that E-Leader, maybe should have waited for a second for that Booyah Bomb to be thrown. We have that Trizuka ready from Johnny, not quite able to capitalize on it yet, choosing to pop it, not getting a ton of value this time though.
This is the power of the E-Leader's range right here. You saw it, able to stop the Rainmaker, then able to get just that extra bit of ink on the Rainmaker shield to catch one member of the Banana Split off by surprise. And now Noel, coming in from the side, is able to come up with a trade of the Rainmaker, again slowing and stalling the momentum of the opposing team who's trying to pick up the Rainmaker. That is incredibly valuable, and here comes the Banana Split. Booyah Bomb on the checkpoint, able to break through it here. Will they be able to sustain this? Will they be able to go for the jump? There's a deluge of yellow ink right in front of the area where they want to try to jump this one up, but it looks like the cleanup is going to come through. The Night Sharks are holding on at that first checkpoint, and they're going to be able to send the Banana Split back to the drawing board.
Johnny doing a great job there of not choosing to grab the Rainmaker, instead choosing to play for a life a little bit longer, choosing to see if they need to reset, choosing to see what needs to happen. That was a great play. They wouldn't have been able to make jump and they would have just lost their life instead. And great job there by Johnny to stay alive for that little bit. As we are seeing Fawful now taking advantage of that Wavebreaker to create space for their teammates to try and move forward, using those torpedoes. Everybody's doing such a great job of using everything at their disposal. E-Leader currently has that Rainmaker on the side of Night Sharks.
halfway through this game. There's still plenty of opportunities for Banana Split to try to find an engagement, and they're starting to sneak back in. You see Noel try to dive for the Rainmaker, but it gets taken down in the process, and now the Night Sharks might be thinking about rotating this off to the left. You see Army on that E-leader looking towards this Rainmaker, trying to prevent it from moving much further forward. And already that Rainmaker timer has been nearly exhausted, down to 20 seconds now, chewing up valuable time on the clock for the Banana Split to try to come back and being happy just stalling this in mid. But now Fawful has found an opening on that side. The machine, though, drops in, trying to prevent this from going much further forward. And the Night Sharks looking to try to build up a few more points. They're going to get it up to this wall and might be a little bit past it, down to the 20-point mark. They go 3 down in the process, but 20 is a fantastic push here.
Absolutely. That 31 was way less secure. That's just getting jump and an extra point, essentially, to get past. But that 20 is hard to get to. 20, you need to clear enough space to be able to move forward. And Noel just hasn't been able to find quite the same value in this game as in Tower, because you can't just... It's not the same style of gameplay in Rainmaker as Tower. The objective doesn't move at a set pace, and Night Sharks are so good at moving up so quickly and explosively that Rainmaker is very much a mode they will thrive on.
Once again, want to compliment Emmett's Crab Tank. Comes away with 2 there. Slows the momentum of the Banana Split. Now Noel pops the Ultra Stamp. That gets taken down by Emmett. And the Night Sharks are continuing to keep up their presence here. Johnny fires off a Zuka shot. Doesn't come up with anything. Noel gets a jump in and isn't able to find anything else other than a singular trade. It's 3 down for the Banana Split here. And with 30 seconds left to play, it's the Night Sharks picking up the Rainmaker once more and are looking back towards the knockout pedestal. You see some of their members starting to shark around, starting to come up from this far side, and with 20 seconds left to go, there's a pick going down. That's going to be the E-leader player, opening up the opportunity for little range advantage here for Banana Split and stability. Johnny pops the Zuka, can't find it. 3 down for the Banana Split, but Army's stalling out this Rainmaker on the left side of the map, and the Night Sharks have stayed alive. 3-4 is the score.
Going into another potential match point game here for Banana Split. Banana Split doesn't seem to really have the same grasp on Rainmaker that Night Sharks does. Night Sharks understands Rainmaker. They understand how to push it, they know how to explode with it, and then they understand how to keep holding it in a forward position so that even when Banana Split manages to find those push opportunities, they can't really fully capitalize on them.
So now they're starting to come back. We again talk about this swinging back and forth. We talk about the modes and the fact that these teams appear to be winning on specific modes, particularly where the Night Sharks can start to control and work with the objective to keep the tempo. They're going to be more successful, but when that tempo is slowed down a little bit more, it goes back over to the Banana Splits here. And we'll see what ends up happening as we head now to Clamblitz. Going on over to Scorch Gorge. This one should be interesting here because, again, we've seen the Night Sharks on clams be successful in their ability to pick up those clams, being able to dump those all off at the pace that they want to. And we'll see if Banana Split has any response.
Yeah, definitely. And this map might go a little more in their favor. It might be a map style that works a little better for them. They seem to be having Noel out for now. They're going to switch in their Tetra instead. I can understand that. Tetra definitely is a weapon that can do well on this map, but we have to see how they'll do against that C Junior.
It is going to be interesting here because I have to imagine that C Junior is probably still sticking. It's been generally working for Fawful there. We'll see if it's able to prevent a lot more of that pace from getting much higher, right? Thanks to that Tetra, thanks to the diving in, thanks to the teamwork and its ability to try to prevent those sorts of things from happening. So we'll see what comes of this. Now, remember, Banana Split wins 1 game. They win this game, and they are your Division 1 CCA Season 3 champions. And the Night Sharks have to win the next 2 in order to take that title for themselves. Again, the storyline heading into tonight was the Night Sharks being undefeated in the league. Well, now they have lost 5 games, 3 to the hands of the Banana Split and 2 earlier to UCSD. We'll see if they can pull it back together to bounce back and take what they want, what they were so close to finding last season, but came up just shy of. They are looking to try to take it here, and they've got 2 more games. to win in order to do that, just that.
And we are seeing Abby back on that vanilla tri-slosher like we saw in Flounder Zones. Abby had been doing so incredibly well with that inkjet. Very interested in seeing how that goes. Going to be playing up a lot with Ave on those tetras. Johnny going to be playing a lot of paint in this situation, hopefully. Going to be focusing a lot on special. And that E-leader just going to be looking to play cleanup for anybody that manages to get through that front line.
And now we're already seeing the Night Sharks continue to keep up those kinds of teamwork plays, double teaming, able to pick off one member at a time. But now, as I say that, they go a little too far forward and end up going 2 down in the process. Fluffle forced to jump back, pay attention to where they might be approaching from and trying to hold down this corner of the map. But here comes the power clams, here comes the push. The inkjet comes out looking to try to find something, and it is going to be able to find one from Abby. The Zuka to try to follow up out of Johnny here. Lob shot over the wall, but it's not going to be meaningful at all because the power clam is now despawned right in front of the basket. Abby had to drop that to go up in inkjet, and no one was quite able to pick that one up. So now it's just going to be the banana split trying to maintain this presence around the basket. They're trying to throw clams to one another. They might finally do it here, but they've lost control of the ink underneath the basket, Nox.
Yeah, smart move on their part to back up, realize that that push was no longer working for them, regrouping in mid, trying not to lose mid here. We're seeing them all very bunched up right here. Very unfortunate time, but as I say that, 2 of the other team go down. I don't quite know how, but the Ealier is now going to be able to set up in mid. They have a lot of clams to work with, but they do go down to that Splash. Splash was doing a great job sharking, managing to find that opportunity to open up. And we see Banana Split trying to find forward motion, but the try goes down in a trade. Try never minds that trade. And that is another 2 down, just the Junior. Junior going to try and shut this down. Not going to quite be able to in time before a power clam goes in, but it is just that leader up, and the Junior has that locked down enough for now.
Only 1 power clam. After all of that, only 1 power clam finds the basket. That's how close these teams are, and that's how much they're trading out with one another. But we'll see what ends up happening here as now another trade happens. Emmett looking to try to find one more on that right side, and is going to pop the crab tank in order to try to stay alive here. Now firing up towards that corner. Not going to be able to come away with anything this time around, but Abby goes in. Can't quite seem to do much of anything here. Let's do a real quick check-in with the Night Shark as it might be looking to make a push happen here.
I got
feedback.
Nice.
One sharking.
Oh, it's a bucket.
Bucket. He's dead. Weak as fuck. Dead.
Good.
Tetra's pushing. Tetra's weak. Dead.
Thanks. Here, I have
the leader.
I'll get the pity. Leader
dead.
Go.
Nice.
Crabbing.
Okay.
Next, I got the pity.
Connection 2, go.
I'm at basket. Jump to me, Billy. Jump to me.
Jump.
I have 7 in the,
I got it.
Watch Tri-Slosher.
Try
Okay, there's clams on the ground.
I got it.
Nice.
Pushing.
Getting clams.
Watch the leader. He's up
They-
top.
I'm coming back from spawn. I'm
try
grabbing clams.
I drop.
Okay, we can't
Touch
square him. Tetra's right side. Tetra's dead.
Sharking.
There's one on the ramp. And the leader's on.
Night Sharks able to find a little bit on the scoreboard here as their first push gets them down to the 65-point mark, Knox, but this is still anyone's game.
Yeah, very much so. It just takes 1 jump in here, and Tetris can get you in so easily. It's like 1 power clam and like 2 littles for Banana Split to take this back. Not hard at all for them to do it, as they are looking to find their specials again, looking to find space to work with. And Abby and Ave here are going to be really looking for opportunities to create big openings for their teammates to capitalize on.
60 seconds on the clock. Banana Split wants to close this one out here, and here comes Johnny pulling out that inkjet onto that crab tank. Gets jumped on by Billy, but it's not enough. Shuts that one down. With 1 member down, the Banana Split might be looking to force the issue as Johnny starts to move forward. Reef Slider coming in. Ave doesn't quite able to find anything, but now it's 3 down. Where's the power clam for the Banana Split? It's back at base. They're trying to throw clams to one another. Billy's in position. The Zuka comes out, and it takes care of one. Now, forcing that way back up to the spawn, looking to try to find something more here, but they still haven't found the clams. Now the pity clam jump is going to come in. We'll see if they'll be able to find this here. Dodging backwards is Abe, looking to be able to sustain this. They're going to be able to take the lead. It's 2 down now here, and any more that they can build up is a little bit more insurance, but the Night Sharks are going to have one more opportunity to keep this series alive.
Absolutely. Abby doing a great job here, sneaking forward, creating a lot of pressure and distraction, along with Abe doing a great job playing off of each other. E-Leader watching over both of them. Johnny does go down. They don't have really great defensive specials. That is one of the issues with Banana Split's comp here. But they are doing an incredible job holding this down. 20 seconds left.
2-down situation for the Night Sharks right now, and the Banana Split are looking to try to clear out the rest of the map. Army is looking to try to stay alive for this power clan, but Abby pops the Zuka in order to try to get that in. It looks like Billy was trying to find his way into the basket, but it's not enough. And the Banana Split from the University of California, Davis are going to be your CCA Division 1 champions.
Incredible gameplay there out of Banana Split. Great presence of mind. Love that Tetra going back to spawn to get that power clam. Now, I don't remember if it's from them getting picked off or if they jumped back, but either way, great job to get that power clam in, and great job from the rest of their team to stay alive and up and creating enough pressure long enough for them to be able to get that jump in and throw that power clam in and get those extra little clams in to make sure that they had that lead solidly.
And what a fantastic series, back and forth, both ways, all the way through, where the Night Sharks had so many promising moments. The Banana Split had so many promising moments, both barely squeaking it through their semifinals as well to get to this point. They're able to take care of business there. And they are handling things all together. So hats off to them. And I believe we'll be setting up for an interview. So sit tight, folks. You'll probably want to hear from some of the players of the University of California, Davis, and we'll be getting all of that set up right away. But Knox, what other closing thoughts do you have here?
Just an incredible CCA season overall. Really great gameplay throughout the season by the Night Sharks. We don't want to take away from that at all. They were undefeated this season up until tonight and this is the only set they've lost all season. They lost a couple games. That was the first time they bled before this. This is the only set they've lost all season, and that is still incredible. They have done a great job, and that's absolutely wonderful.
It is, and I know that this league and this community of people in the collegiate scene means so much to so many individuals. I know now as a coach, because I've been coaching for 2 teams, shout outs to both ONSU in Div 2 and the Red Beaks Platoon in Div 5. It's been a blast to be a part of those kinds of team environments where these players that didn't know they might have had a knack for competing have the ability to come through and do that. And I imagine in similar ways, so many others have found their calling to compete, have found their calling to be social, have found their friend circles and their friend groups that'll define their collegiate experiences. So thank you all for your support of the CCA. It's been an honor to be a part of this as well myself. And that's it. Of course, you can find Knox and I both on Twitter. Find me at kbot_273. Knox's Twitter is on the screen because it's the same as her Discord. And I think that'll do it from us. We'll hand it over to DRF and Neptune for an interview with the winning squad of CCA Division 1. Congratulations again. Go to the University of California, Davis, the Banana Split, in order to take the league in its highest division.
I'm going to go to Safeway after this.
Hello, Banana Split.
Oh,
my goodness. Well, first of all, allow me to be one of the first people to congratulate you all on winning Division 1 of CCA League Season 3. How are you all feeling right now?
Thank you. Dude, I was like, I'm in a dream right now. I'm not going to lie. Dude, this team is like actually so cracked. Holy.
The Banana Split is real, guys.
That's why it's real. You're feeling extra fruity tonight.
Oh man, well, what a marathon that you guys have been on tonight. First of all, things were looking pretty bleak in semifinals. I think we can all
we gotta
put on a show.
Yeah, we had
for real.
Gotta hype things up.
I mean, you all were in a 2-4 deficit in the semifinals. So what happened, there? What's changed for you all that managed to put you in the position to win out the next 3 games and punch your ticket to grand finals?
Ooh, if I didn't name one thing, is that we probably had to keep putting a backline in our team comps. The first 3 games we were in a couple backlists and we kind of got bodied. It wasn't looking pretty for us. But once we put Ayashi Lemon into our comp, things started looking a lot better.
I mean, yeah, you all had a very deep lineup today. I think the whole roster's here, and you all were just shifting people in and out. Like there was times where like half the lobby was empty because both teams were kind of moving people around. Was that kind of just something you guys planned out, or was that just on the fly? Hey, we're feeling that we need this person in right now.
So what I like to keep having everyone play equally. So I kind of like plan out beforehand what comps we're gonna run for each map mode combo to make sure everyone gets a chance to play like pretty much equally, except in the second part. It's mostly Johnny and G.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I put them in for every game. A little bit of desperation.
Yeah, I appreciate the extra organization you put in. That is very commendable right there.
Well, speaking of Johnny, I think the commentators really, and the chat, everybody everyone became a Johnny fan tonight. That's for sure. Do you have any idea of how many Trizukas you might have popped tonight?
There's no way it's less than triple digits. There's no way.
Honestly.
Well, you had 9 Zukas in one game, right?
Backline.
Well, I can say that in the semifinals you had 30.
Oh my goodness.
You subbed out in game 2. That was the only time that we didn't see you, and you had a T-Tech, I believe, in game 4. But between the other 7 games, you popped 30 Trizukas, and we just didn't even count them in the finals. I'm pretty sure that we can confidently say that you might have cracked 50 Trizukas in one night.
Hey, I'd say 60. 60 minimum.
60? No way.
Well,
You're running
we'll
on
run the
the
stats
up
on
there,
it.
definitely.
I was, yes.
Yep.
Oh, wow. But I mean, semifinals, that was just quite the show that you all put on there. Penn State, I think, did a fantastic job of just hanging with you all, especially because I know things were super complex on their end tonight. So I think that, both teams put up a fantastic fight there. And then coming into this Night Shark set, I mean, you all said before the stream started that the Night Sharks were the team that you were most worried about. When did you all realize that you were in a great position to win this set?
Honestly, when UCSD started taking 2 games off, I was like, hold on, these guys looking kind of beatable right now.
So it's one of those things that that you saw them bleed once and then hang on, they could
Pretty
do a
much.
lot more.
Once they
UCSD paved the way for us, honestly.
They're really good. They're so
From
so
UC
good.
to
They're
UC.
people over there.
You guys definitely mentioned that a lot, but I want to hear what was going through your heads during that first game of Splat Zones on Manta Maria there, and how you're able to just completely turn the tables and just shut out Night Shark from getting any chances to be able to capitalize any zone time.
Once me and Abby started getting those picks, it was over. We locked them out. They kind of got staggered in the middle, and it was just game over after the first few seconds. They did get that one cap. The first interaction, the first fight. They did get that +1 at the end after getting that, but overall, I think that kind of paved the way for our momentum, low key. Gave us a lot of the confidence boost we needed to finish up the set.
Certainly. And I believe it was game 5. I'm already losing track a little bit, but the Inkblot game, Inkblot Clams. Noel, that was your game from start to finish on the wiper there.
Oh, that wiper. I kind of went ham that game, I'm not gonna lie. I was really feeling it. I was kind of sad when I stepped out. I was like, oh, there goes my momentum. But we won in the end, so that's all that matters.
Yes, it was a great performance there. I was like, Noel, I was watching. I was like, Noel's really turning it up here. This is just starting to seem a little bit more of a runaway for Banana Split in that moment.
If I can add a little comment here, is I noticed the commentators were talking about how you were doing exactly what the Wipers should be doing. That is contesting people that are trying to like push up into your teammates, right? And destroying like the wave breaker there like almost immediately, and just not allowing anyone to push up into your team, as well as like keeping aggro. You're doing fantastic with that game, especially when you got the hammer there and just took 2 down.
Oh, I remember that. Dude, when I see a wave breaker, I literally just see red. I was like, destroy immediately. And it's like, it's gone. Because Viper literally just one-shots thing if you direct it, or 2-shot if you do charge slashes. It's like so efficient. Basically just shutting out the C Junior was really important, especially because their paint was absurd. We had a lot of difficulties dealing with Night Shark's paint, especially on that Rainmaker Hacklefish game. They really like, locked us out there, so we had to find an answer.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, the Night Sharks, they really were trying to build up some momentum there, kind of cornered, and, you know, suddenly it seemed like in that game 7 that they were really starting to dial it right back up. So how did you all manage to kind of regain yourselves for that last game to close this one out?
Ooh, I'll leave that to Wicked and Johnny. They were the no, not Wicked.
I wasn't playing. Nope.
You were playing. I'll leave that to Johnny. That was his game.
Honestly, in that game, I was really excited to bring the Tri-Bucket back out because I love Tri-Bucket. Yeah, I was hitting my inkjet shots, and that was like, I don't always hit my inkjet shots.
Yeah, those inkjet shots were amazing, right? And they were just completely shut out Night Sharks when they were trying to like approach, because oh shoot, there's a jet there, and if I get in range of them, I might get one shot, right? And even if you don't get the one shot right, the follow-up shots come out, and you just get them anyways, and that gave you a lot of staying power. I noticed.
Yeah.
So great job on that, Abby.
Well, you all are our first winners of our MSI prizing for this season. So each of you will be receiving an Optics E2 monitor. So courtesy of our partners at MSI. I mean, how does that feel? That you all want freaking monitors? Like that doesn't happen in the Splatoon community.
when I saw the announcement the other day, they were giving out prizes. I was like, oh, that's cool.
We gotta try, y'all.
Yeah.
Any one of you looking for particularly use for the monitor here?
Dude, no, I've been playing on a square monitor for the past like 6. Oh no, when I first started, when Splatoon 3 first came out, and I moved back to Davis for the quarter. I didn't tell the team until maybe a couple weeks in, but I actually was not playing with audio for about the first 2 months of Splatoon. Because my monitor is so old, there's no HDMI. It's I don't know what it's called. It's the one with the screw-in thing. So I think an adapter and stuff, and then it's also a square monitor. Yeah, it's also a square monitor. So I didn't realize it was square until one day I was like, hey, the circle isn't really a circle on the screen.
What?
Hopefully this new MSI monitor is able to treat you a lot more comfortably now. So.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, our performance is only gonna get better.
You earned it after all.
Oh my goodness, and that is great. So I'm so glad that is gonna be put to great use. So I have one more question for you all. What is next for Banana Split? Because I know that you have a couple of seniors on the team. Is that correct?
That is correct. Or no, kind of. They're third years, but a lot of them are graduating next year.
Early,
yeah.
So
like in the middle of the year.
So does that mean that we will probably see a Banana Split rerun in the fall?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think we got maybe 1 or 2 more seasons left in us. And then, but you can look forward to seeing our new sister team, EaUCD Splatoon Blue, who we just finished tryouts for. They are officially formed now. And hopefully you guys can see them in the CCA, even when we're gone.
That is amazing to hear. You are crafting a legacy and training a new team in for the new season in the CCA. That is awesome to hear.
Well, I mean, once again, congratulations. I know that this was a bit more of a marathon than I think we all anticipated. I think we had a couple of ideas of how this night might shake out, and I don't think we expected to play, what is it, 7 plus, quick maths here, 15, 24 out of 27 possible games. So definitely a much longer night than I think we all were planning for. So I just want to thank you all for helping to organize this to make it happen. I think this was just a much bigger dream than we all could have realized, to put on just such a show for everybody and show what is so great about Collegiate Splatoon. I do want to give you all one more opportunity. Do you have any sort of closing thoughts, statements, anything that you want to share while you have the mic and everyone's attention?
What do you think, guys? Any last statements?
Dude, I want to have a banana split.
Dude,
I've never had a banana split.
I've never had a banana split either.
Oh, that is a fitting ending if all of you guys share a banana split.
Hey, it's only 9 p.m. on the Pacific Coast right now, so...
That's true.
Hey.
Yeah, you guys are on the Pacific Coast. Yeah, go for it, guys. Go for it.
Awesome.
Treat yourself.
Thank you guys so much for commentating. You guys, the commentary was amazing. Like whenever I wasn't playing, I'd be watching the stream. You guys sound so professional, and then like it's so smooth. So thanks for hosting and like
thanks for setting everything up too. The CCA is such a treat for college players.
Certainly. We do everything we can to provide for you all, because we really want to see this scene thrive. And just doing things like being able to work with partners and stuff like that, give you all prizing for the show that you put on. That's all just part of it. So, well,
not just a show, but a demonstration of what the league's all about here. Just even people that come in here for the first time are still able to make a big name through the power of friendship and bananas.
Abby's so cool, dude. Abby is so cool.
Abby is so cool, guys.
Abby is the coolest. Well, with that, we will let you all go and celebrate. Congratulations once again to Esports at UC Davis's Banana Split on being the Season 3 champions. What a well-fought battle. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. And, go celebrate. It's very well deserved.
Thank you.
All right, bananas.
All right, bananas. Let's
All right. I guess it's time for you guys to banana split.
True. Oh gosh. Oh no.
You're welcome, DRF.
Have a good night, banana split. Well, what a show, Neptune. That was, like I said, I think that was beyond my wildest expectations.
Yeah, definitely. If the stats team just showed me Night Sharks undefeated, and I thought, oh, this is gonna be a short night. No. Banana Split proved us wrong here, taking PSU Blue all the way up to Game 9 and giving Night Sharks a run for their money and taking the whole grand finals. What a show.
Certainly. I think a lot of fantasy picks were broken today, so that's going to be very interesting to see as we conclude the season. So it just continues to amaze me what we are able to do with this community, and it makes me very, very happy that the effort that we're all able to put into this is just so well appreciated by the students. It can be very difficult to run an esports community, especially one at the collegiate level. But these students show up time and time again, and it just continues to be an honor to be able to produce stuff like this for the entire community.
With games that was so much back and forth, and just you couldn't tell how it was gonna go, even though like 4 minutes were into a match, right? There was always potential for one team to just get the upper hand here, and just showcasing various talents, as well as just teams being able to collaborate in these games and coordinate to be able to just make amazing plays. The CCA is certainly something else, and just shows that teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, indeed. So that will do it for Division 1. Esports at UC Davis's Banana Split in first place. The Night Sharks from the University of Central Florida will finish in second. Penn State will be your third place finisher after a 5-3 victory over UCSD Esports Gold. UCSD will be your fourth place finisher for back-to-back seasons. The only team to be in the Division One playoffs every single season so far. So at least for UCSD, I think they maintain a solid legacy going on, but things are going to continue to be interesting as the collegiate space is just so volatile. Things are constantly changing. Rosters are changing because people come, people go, they graduate. So this is it for this school year. Like
but this just for this year though, this season. There's going to be more in the future, right? And as you heard from Banana Split, they're getting a second team together, and more people are going to be joining the scene next season potentially, right? So it's just going to be a snowball, like how most of these games can sometimes go. Just going to continuously build up, and this collegiate scene just is going to keep on going on.
Certainly. I mean, Purdue and UCSD, they were kind of the trailblazers here for the collegiate scene. They were the first dynasties that we saw in collegiate Splatoon. Now the seas have sort of parted for the new teams to kind of rise up here. UC Davis trying to establish themselves as a new dynasty team alongside the Night Sharks, who have the unique distinction of being the only team with back-to-back second places. I mean, that's still an incredible feat in of itself. But
Absolutely.
You know, the Night Sharks, at least I am still looking forward to the Night Sharks being the most successful collegiate team in low ink. I think they have a lot to look forward to there. I would love to see the Night Sharks eventually beat UCSD as the top placing collegiate team in low ink. So I think that's going to come sooner rather than later. So I'm so looking forward to that opportunity for the Night Sharks. It's, you know, they're going to fall a little bit short here tonight, but they have so much more to go. And I think their team should be relatively young too.
Yep. Definitely. Good job to all the teams that played tonight here. This was Div 1 semifinals and finals that were presented tonight here. So these teams had to play their heart out against the best teams that were supposedly in the league right here. And making it this far is definitely an accomplishment. And the futures for all these teams, even though they might have not taken home the gold medal, are looking brighter than ever. And they are going to be continuing on their own teams, as well as producing new teams, training new members, working harder as the scene just continues to grow, as well as their skills.
Certainly. So I do want to start to wrap this one up slowly. First of all, Neptune, thank you for joining me on the production end tonight. You've come in a pinch multiple times today, so I just want to express my gratitude directly to you, first of all.
It's an honor to be here, DRF, and happy to be here for everyone on the collegiate scene, especially for you guys tuning home at twitch.tv.
And then additionally, I do want to take this opportunity because this is our, big production of the season. We still have a few more grand finals matches through the rest of this weekend. Tomorrow, 5 more division champions will be crowned in Division 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Those will be happening on the CCA channel and Splatoon tourney. Most of those taking place at 8 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe there's another match that's at
there's another third place match. I think that was supposed to happen at 4 p.m. Yeah, something around that time. But make sure you tune in around 8 p.m. EST for some more CCA Splatoon action, as well as Splatoon tourney for some definitely amazing games from collegiate teams.
Certainly. And lastly, I do want to express my gratitude to everybody that's been able to make this season a reality. First of all, Mizuno for being the best co-head that I could ask for.
Absolutely.
She has just been on fire this season, and definitely would not have the sanity that I have without her. So just want to give her that special shout out first.
Yep. We all love Mizuno here. Make sure you show her some love in chat, Twitch folks, please. She's put in a lot of work and effort here along with DRF to make this scene what it is. And us new staff members are just here to support them and this scene.
Yeah, and then I'm going to try to get through this without getting slightly emotional here. But the rest of the staff as well. We've got a whole bunch of new staff that came in this season that have really delivered. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of them for really kind of just coming through, honestly. Just they kind of... You all have basically just really jumped in head first and just made so many cool things possible this season. So huge shout out to the staff.
It's not just us diving in head first. You were able to show us along with Mizuno. So make sure your people in Twitch chat show DRF some love as well here, as he put in just as much work as Mizuno to help train the new staff members to be able to contribute to this wonderful scene.
Thank you very much. And additional shout outs to all of our producers this season. Neptune and I, along with Vapor, who has been taking a lot of lead on these fun experiments that we've been able to bring to you all this season. Falco for everything that he's been able to help us with on Splatoon Tourney and increasing our coverage by tenfold, really. And Jorian as well for just always coming in a pinch and coming up with some fantastic ideas we've been able to execute on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not forget about the commentators as well.
The commentators
that willing to volunteer their time to be able to just get together with some people they may or may not know to be able to commentate these games, get people excited, as well as talk about the match and explain to the viewers, right, what's going on and why it's working and how that happened. It is just beautiful to see everyone come together, staff or non-staff, to be able to work together to produce amazing stream quality content like this on twitch.tv.
Certainly. I mean, we won't name them all. There's too many of them. But they're all appreciated. And then the last shout out as well to our stats team. And I'm going to take a moment to especially shout out Hoken from the Night Sharks. You got to see him play tonight in both these semifinals and grand finals. Hoken took our stats spreadsheet project to a whole new level. Like, it's crazy. Like, we had a cool idea. We're like, this is awesome. We have something cool going. And Hoken was like, this is great. Let's take it a step further. And it is crazy what Hoken has been able to do for us. Like, the stats team altogether have put in hundreds of matches into the spreadsheets and been able to help us collect all of this data, which is unprecedented in the Splatoon community.
That seems maddening if they're going to be able to manually input every single piece of game data in there and being able to present it all in a nice sheet for everyone to look at publicly in a nice, convenient method. That is something very impressive. So double shout outs to our stats team there for working so hard.
Yeah, and then lastly, because I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but shout out to everyone that's been involved in the season in any way, shape, or form, from everyone that's helped us produce, to everyone that's played, to you all that are watching. It has been so much fun to be able to do it this season. I feel like we've really managed to take this up to a whole new level. And we're certainly not stopping there. We have a lot of ideas that we're going to execute on this summer. And our hope is that come season 4 in the fall, we will be able to keep this level of production and take it a step further and continue to provide new levels of engagement for you all. We want to continue to push collegiate Splatoon as an esport, be able to do whatever we can to support you all in getting that support from your universities, because we love this game so much, and we want to be able to help you all be able to make the most of your college experience.
Definitely. And as a new staff member here, that's going to be all along for the ride here. We're looking forward to working with not just the current staff, the new staff, but looking forward to working with all the players here to hopefully make this scene as best as it can possibly be.
Okay, I think I got that all out now.
Definitely did. Definitely did.
But like I said, it's not it. We still have 5 more matches tomorrow, and maybe a sprinkle of third place matches if we can get those in the schedule. But Neptune, go ahead and plug yourself one more time.
Well, all right, guys, if you want to find out where I am, listen up closely. It is Neptune with a 2 in there and an underscore at the end. on Twitter and twitch.tv. Feel free to find me over there, but hey, I'll still be chilling around the CCA server. If you guys want to at me or play some games or just talk about Splatoon, I'm very passionate about this scene as well as the game. So yeah, stick around, have fun. We can perhaps get a banana split together. But hey, DRF, feel free to plug yourself as well. You have earned it given how much work and time and effort you've spent in this league.
Oh man, yeah, you can go ahead and find me on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon and on Twitch at TritonDRF. But as always, you can find me more often here on the CCA Twitch channel, covering all things collegiate Splatoon and putting on productions like the one that you just saw tonight. And I will also be on the mic tomorrow to wrap up our last Grand Finals match, the Division 2 showdown between Carne Sada Fries and Old Bay Brigade at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So you certainly don't want to miss that.
You're going to have the dynamic duo of DRF and Mizuna on the mic, so you definitely don't want to miss that, guys. Note it down on your calendars, write it down, put a sticky note on your refrigerator if you still do that type of thing. But you know what? There's so many more matches coming up on Sunday, and this may be the end. We might be closing season 3, but we're gonna have far more for you guys in the future, and it's gonna be new projects, more work, more effort, and just a culmination of all of our work put together to be presented to you guys through twitch.tv.
Certainly. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. This has been Neptune and DRF, and signing off as well one more time for K-Bot and Nox. Congratulations once more to Esports at UC Davis's banana split for being your Division 1 champions here in Season 3 of the CCA League. Have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Peace.